Okay, so we're really diving deep today into this report. It's called 2024 Showdown, Harris versus Trump. And let me tell you, it reads like a political thriller.
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking a potential rematch, Biden's out of the picture, and the polls. Let's just say, buckle up, folks.
Yeah, it's going to be a nail biter. We're looking at a statistical dead heat here. Like the New York Times Siena poll has Harris ahead, but just barely 48% to 36%.
Wow, that's close.
And then Pew Research, they've got them virtually tied. Harris 48%, Trump 47%. I mean, it's practically a coin toss at this point.
It's anyone's game, right?
Yeah.
So, the big question is, can Kamala Harris actually pull this off? Can she defy the odds,
Yeah.
make history, or are we going to see history repeat itself like 2016, 2020?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the report makes it clear this isn't just a rehash of those past elections. Something shifted. Like Harris is picking up support from demographics that usually vote Republican suburban voters, middle-class households. It's really shaking things up.
Interesting. So it's not as simple as, just looking at the past.
Not at all.
Okay, well, let's dig into the numbers a bit. So it's super close overall, but who's actually leaning which way? The report breaks down some interesting demographics. For example, Black voters are overwhelmingly behind Harris, like 79% support compared to only 14% for Trump.
Yeah, that's a huge gap. And it's not just Black voters. Younger voters are leaning toward Harris, women too. Trump, on the other hand, he's holding on to his base. Older voters, white male demographics.
Right, right. Okay, but I mean, demographics are just one piece of the puzzle, right? It's the issues that really matter.
Exactly.
And speaking of issues, the report really hones in on the economy, which, let's be real, it's always a big deal. But here's the thing. Even though Harris has been talking a lot about middle-class growth, affordability, all the voters seem to trust Trump more on the economy. That's kind of surprising, don't you think?
It is interesting. I mean, it shows just how powerful Trump's messaging on the economy continues to be. Even with all the controversy surrounding his actual policies, there's still this perception of him as, a successful businessman, and that really seems to resonate with a lot of voters.
Yeah, yeah. Voters have long memories. Okay, what else? Immigration.
Yeah.
That's always a hot button issue. And it seems like we're looking at two very different approaches here.
Totally. The report, it contrasts Trump's, hardline stance. We're talking strict border control, which honestly hasn't really changed much.
Right.
And then you have Harris with a more, I'd say, centrist position, emphasizing, like, addressing the root causes of migration and whatnot. It's a real clash of ideologies.
Two different paths.
Yeah.
So, hypothetically speaking, what happens if Harris wins?
Big changes.
Right.
Yeah, the report suggests she would usher in some pretty significant progressive reforms. We're talking social justice, healthcare, climate change, the whole 9 yards. It even speculates that we might see a calmer, less divisive political climate, more focus on bipartisanship, finding common ground.
Okay, yeah, less chaos. I think everyone would appreciate that. But let's flip the script. What if Trump wins a second term? What does that look like?
Well, according to the report, that's where things could get, well, interesting might not be the right word. Concerning, maybe.
Concerning how?
Well, we could see a return to some familiar themes. Think stricter immigration policy is a big push for deregulation in the economic sphere. But, and this is a bit alarming. The report even hints that Trump might challenge the legitimacy of the election if he loses.
See, now that's what I'm talking about. Right back to that whole political thriller feeling. That really raises some serious questions about the future of our democracy, the peaceful transfer of power, all of that.
Absolutely. This isn't just another election. It's about what kind of country we want to be. And the report really drives that point home. Voter engagement is going to be absolutely critical, especially in those key swing states.
No pressure, voters. It's all on you. But, listening to all this, it really does feel like we're at a turning point. Like the report said, it's about the direction America chooses. But here's something I've been thinking about. The report focuses on the national level, right? But what about the local impact?
That's a great point because, these national trends, these issues, they're going to play out differently depending on where you live.
Exactly.
So yeah, how will your state be impacted? Your town?
Right, your community, your own backyard even. It's not just about who becomes president. It's about the future we're building right here where we live. So yeah, think about that. This election, it's personal.